Hey y'all, it's Jess from Hobby Jobby Creations, and I know it's been a little while, but today I decided to do a small tutorial. I have a new camera, so I'm trying to try this thing out. Hopefully this will work out better for me. Maybe it'll make it easier for me to start making more videos. Because I was doing all my videos on my phone, which was taking up all the storage. It was taking forever to get it uploaded. Anyway, today I want to do a tutorial, hopefully a short one, on how I made my own sew-in tags. Right? So like, I don't know how well y'all can see that. So this is one of them, see, because they like fold. And so you got front side, back side, got the same thing on them. That's my long one. So it would be like, if I were to put it on something, you would just see that little bottom part. And then I've got my shorter one, so you would show a little bit more of a tag on that one. And then the one that I'm going to try to make today is this tiny one. And it's more like a scrunchy one. And I ran out of these. I actually ordered these, but I'm gonna try and make them myself since I don't have enough to put into the scrunchies I've been making. So what I normally use to make these is I just buy ribbon, like on a spool. You know, you go to Walmart, Amazon, anything like that. For this like chunkier tag, he's 1 inch wide, so you get 1 inch wide ribbon. For my little my one where you would just see that very bottom piece there, that one is, let me measure it real fast. Okay, it's 1.5 inches, so you would get a spool of 1.5 inch wide this way, right? Obviously, I mean, anyway. And for this little guy, the one that I'm going to be trying to make today for the scrunchies, he is usually a half or 5/8 of an inch, sorry. So 5/8 of an inch thick. Now, the only issue that I ran into was that I could not find any 5/8 inch thick when I went to Walmart. And so I did find one, which was this one. But the only problem is like, I don't know if y'all can see, it's got this like stitching on the side of it. So I don't know if that is going to cause me issue because the way I make these is through sublimation. So I don't know if that's going to cause me issue on lifting up on the sublimation paper or anything like that. So we're going to find out. We're going to try this today. I'm going to show you guys how I design the labels. I do it in Canva, but I'm sure you could use Photoshop or whatever else you use, as long as you know how to make the item exactly the size that you want it to be. You should be good to go. Whatever you use for making your sublimation stuff. So yeah, we're going to try and make this today. I'm going to try and show you guys how I design them. And yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started and hopefully everything works out. All right, so to start out, I have this is my 1 inch one, my 1 inch tag that I have pulled up. So it's 1 inch wide by 2.25 inches lengthwise. This guy right here is about a 1/2 inch. I would say more of like a 5/8. He's like a 5/8 tall and wide, so I'd keep it within that range. Then I have him up top, and then I have him flipped on the bottom, because when you fold it, they're going to be, you know, you're going to want them both to be facing the right way. So you have him right side up on the top, and then you have the logo copied, and you have it flipped 180 on the bottom. And then right here, this space is roughly, I put it at about 1/8 of an inch. You can go bigger if you want to. 1/8 of an inch just literally leaves the fold, and then like that's it, you know. So you can make that gap a little bit bigger if you want to. If you want your logo a little bit higher up on the tag, that's fine. It's all personal preference. So this black box up here and on the bottom, I literally just put a super thin black box on the top and the bottom, and that is purely because these are so that I know where to cut my tags. So, because when I put them on the ribbon, it's just going to be one continuous ribbon, and I'm going to want to know where to cut it so that it's the proper length. And then this little black box will be on the tag, but it'll be tucked away in your seam allowance, so you'll never see it. So there's that. So what I'm going to do is, this is a copy of this one, so I'm going to start changing the measurements on this a bit. So I'm going to resize my canvas here. I'm going to do a custom size. So instead of one, I still want to have that 2.25 length. I personally just like having that length. I can cut down to whatever I need it to be or keep it longer, whatever. It just gives me plenty of seam allowance. So, but for my width on this, I want it to be the exact width of my tag here, or my ribbon. So my ribbon now I'm working with is a 5/8 inch, and I wonder if I can just type it in 5/8 like that. Nope, they're not gonna let me. Okay, so we're gonna put 0.625, and we're gonna have that be our new dimension there. Ooh, I don't know if it'll, oh, there we go. Okay, I was like, I don't know if it'll let me. Okay, so we're gonna resize it. We're gonna open a new copied one. There he is. He's super skinny. And it looks like it might have changed my dimensions on everything, to be honest. Okay, I think it just kind of tried to fit everything. Anyway, we're going to move this black box up here, just as long as he's still the size that we need him. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I think he changed the size of, and by he I mean the computer. Okay, yeah, so the computer did change the size of my logos, which I'm gonna try and get those logos to be just a bit bigger because I need them to be seen. Now, I'm not gonna use this logo specifically. I'm gonna do this logo instead. Okay, close that up. All right, so I want this logo, but I want him to be about the size that I have this guy at. He's a little bit smaller. Let's see, let's do it this way. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna delete him, and then I take it down here to the center, and then I just do like a click up, if that makes sense. And then I'm gonna delete him. Okay, and then I want to make a duplicate, and I'm just gonna put him right to there. Okay, and then I need to rotate him 90 degrees, or 180 degrees, sorry, not 90. So let's get him 180. Awesome. Okay, so then we're gonna put him up to that medium line, or that middle line there, and I'm gonna give him, click him down one. There we go. So now we have a gap here. We have them made sizable. Okay, I'm hoping that it's going to be within those little stitches that we have, but we shall see when we finish. But I still have my little black squares right here. If you want to know how to put the black squares, I think I just went to Elements. Yeah, and you could just put a square and make it whatever color you want and whatever length and size, and you could just put in wherever you want. I did it black because that just shows up the best on white, you know, opposite color. So I think we are good with all this, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this image and I need to download it. I am going to download it as a PNG. Okay, so we're just going to call this, we're going to call it the Scrunchy Tag Design, and we're going to save it in my brand kit. We're going to do that. I usually switch over to Photoshop at this point. Okay, so in Photoshop, you're going to want to do your custom size. Now, you're going to want to fit it to your paper. So the paper that I usually use is that 8.5 by 14. So, but what I'm actually going to do is just make it a little bit smaller than that. So I usually do about a 1/2 inch smaller. So I have an 8 by 13.5 inch, and that's what I'm going to make my canvas. And that's just so that I can fill the page and not have to worry about it. So we are going to import my tag image here.
this is it. So we're going to import him. Okay. And then we're going to take him and we're just going to repeat him in long lines. So let me see if I can. Okay. So I've got him like this, right? And even if you want to, I can just take off the background so you can see a little bit better. Or if you want to make it even easier, you could just take your background and change it to like, well, maybe let's not do black because of my black lines. I want to be able to see my lines. Okay, we'll do this. And then I will paint bucket the background. There we go. See? We're going to be able to see. And then we'll just make that background, before we print it, take that background off. Otherwise, it's going to be on your sheet. So, then we'll go ahead and do this. Okay, so now we want to make sure that we duplicate this. And then we're going to make him butt up against that one. And see how that black line is there? I'm going to know to cut right at that black line, right between those. And so I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm going to duplicate it again. Okay, come down the page. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this rather than doing it one by one like this, but I am not a Photoshop wizard. So I just do what my little brain can manage. Okay. So, sweet. We were able to fit that last one. Okay. So now we have this whole group here. Let me see. Okay, my gosh. Okay, well, it's mad at me right now. Maybe I should have read the thing that popped up. Oh, that's why. Stupid. I hit the wrong thing. Okay. So now we're zooming out so that we can see there's a long line there. Now what I do is I'm just going to take all of these and I'm going to merge. I just click them all, you know, do the control and click them all or shift and click them all thing. And then merge the layers. So now all of these are one layer, right? So now I can just duplicate this whole thing, this whole stack here. So, and that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to duplicate this layer, and then I'm going to move them over. And I don't want them to be too far apart, but I also don't want them to be too close together because I want to be able to put strips on there. So we're just going to see what we can fit. I might even just start off by putting this guy at the end over here. Alright, so now we have a bunch of lines going straight down, okay? And that's going to be the way we're going to lay our ribbon once we have this printed. So we're literally just going to lay strips of ribbon straight down the page. And yes, we're going to tape them on there. So it's going to be a whole thing. Okay, so now that we have this, and if you want to make it easy, you can very well merge all these layers together into one. I'm not going to do that just because in case this is too close together or something, I want to be able to separate them if I need to. So I'm not going to do that. But like I said, you can if you want to. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and take away the background though, because I do not want to have that pink in the background in case I put the ribbon on there just a little bit over to the left or right. I don't want the pink on the side. Okay, so we have our image that we want. Now, the way I always sublimate, I always use Adobe. It just works out better for me with the coloring and things like that. But I am going to save as. Now this is going to be, I'm just going to put this because this is the best way for me to remember. Scrunchy tags. Okay, and we're going to save it as a PDF. So I'm going to save that as a PDF. Got to hit enter a few times. Then I am going to open this PDF up. and we're going to open up scratchy tags. And here we go. We got them all on here ready to go. And then I'm going to print. Okay, so when I'm setting up my thing, I have a sublimation and I have a regular printer. So I got to set it up to my sublimation printer. Within my properties, I do want to make sure it's at 100%. Perfectly leak, wow. Because 8.5 by 14 is legal size. And then I want to make sure that my quality is on high color. I like to have a print preview just to double make sure. For me, premium presentation is a little bit thick on color for me, so I just take it down a notch. Bidirectional mirror. Yeah, we want to make sure that our mirror image is on for sure. And if you're used to sublimating, you already know that, but you know, just double making sure. Alright, so now our preview looks better here, and then I just have to make sure that I have the proper paper loaded, and we will hit print. There's our print preview, and now we're going to go ahead and print this, and I will see y'all back in the sewing room.
Okay, so now that we have this out, printed out and ready to go, we're going to take our ribbon. You're going to need your ribbon, and then you're going to need heat-proof tape, the heat-resistant tape or whatever it is. Okay, sublimation tape. And then you're going to try and get this as straight on here as possible. And so we're going to tape the top of this guy just so he stays there. And then we're going to try and get this, and you can kind of see through the ribbon, and so that should help you to make sure that it all stays aligned. And you're going to want tape a little bit throughout this as well. And then at the end of each strip, you're going to snip it. Okay, and so we're just going to put strip after strip. So we're going to take this all the way down to here and just hope that we're getting in there the way we want to. Okay. Because it is going to want to curve a little bit, and that's okay. You just got to kind of direct it. You shouldn't need too many pieces of tape. Like I said, you just want to direct it so that it's kind of staying. Because if it's not perfect, it's not like a huge deal, because each individual tag, you know, other people are not going to be looking at each individual tag. You're going to be the one that sees the differences between the tags. And so we're just going to repeat that process all the way down the sheet, and you can use, see how I'm trying to like make sure that one piece of tape helps me out the whole way. So you can do it like that, and then that way when it comes to the end, when we're taking the tape off, you can have it to where all the tape kind of sticks together, and then it's easier to take everything off, because it's a process to get it, to remove it as well. But we just want to make sure that we are cutting our edges there. And then I just tape it down there. I'm really hoping that these little thread nodules on the sides, the stitching, I'm hoping that's not going to ruin the tags, but we'll see. All right, so we've got 2 lanes on here already. And like I said, we are just going to continue this same process all the way down. Okay, so I overestimated how much I had left on that roll. Ribbon. I keep forgetting the word ribbon. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this off, which is fine. because whenever I get more ribbon, maybe I can actually, well, won't be able to salvage this guy. Maybe. We'll see. Just won't have my little black line there to tell me on that one, but. Alright. So, I'll just cut this guy off. And maybe save him for later. We'll see. So, what we're going to do with this now is we're going to take it to the press. And that's why, you know, the tape and everything. And we're going to lay them upside down on the press like that, like you normally would for anything. Okay? And we're going to press them for 60 seconds at 400 is what I normally do. We're going to hope it works out because this is very small print and, you know, it's very small print and we have these like edges. But anyway, we're going to see what we got. We're going to see what we got going on. Here we are at my little crazy ironing heating station type deal. Okay, so we're going to take our guys. Paper is going to be upside down. Lay it on the press. I'm going to do it, no, just do it normal, just don't get funky. Let's not start doing weird stuff. Okay. Oops, sorry, guys. And then, of course, as usual, we're going to cover it up. Okay? All right, he's all covered. And we are going to wait for our 60 seconds to happen. All right, here we go. Pick these guys up. Oh, they're falling off. All right, well, let's just rip them all off anyway, just in case. They don't normally fall off like that, I promise. All right, so they don't look too bad considering what we got going on with the little dealy dooter over there. Anyway, so here's our black lines, right? I'm gonna grab my skizzers. And I usually just cut down the middle of that little black box that we made. Alright, so considering that we don't have the ideal type of ribbon for this, I would say he didn't turn out too bad. So, let me see. I hope y'all can see that. So he didn't turn out too bad. Alright, so now we're done. And I'm about to knock over. I have embroidery hoops dangling down here that I kick with my feet every now and then. Anyway, okay. So now I have just a nice little, 52 card pickup of tags. I don't know if there's 52. I didn't count. Did y'all count? I didn't count. Okay. But now I got a bunch of cute little scrunchy tags that I can now put on my scrunchies. You can also put these on, if you make the little wrist straps that you sell people or lanyards, things like that. If you sell things like that, you can put those little tags on there too. I've seen the little tags we put on a lot of things. So you can put them on whatever you're making. But this is just a nice little tiny tag. Again, like I said, this is just 5/8 thick ribbon that I got from Walmart. And I just sublimated my logo on it. I know I'm not the best with like digital design or anything like that. So I hope that the little bit that I showed you in Canva and in Photoshop, I hope that's enough to like at least let you get the gist of it to try and figure out how it works best for you. I know there might be an easier way out there, and that's great. And if you know the easier way, then like do that. That's awesome. I do tend to overcomplicate things sometimes. It just is who I am. Anyway, so that's all. That is going to be it for the tutorial today. I really hope that somebody got something good out of this. I hope that this kind of teaches you. Again, like I said, you can always change the sizes or anything else. Size, design, however you want to do it. The world is your oyster. Do what you need to do. So anyways, like, subscribe, comment, all that. Now that I have a new camera, I'm hoping that this works out so that I can have an easier time making videos. It was really hard to make videos on my phone. It was really hard to make videos on my phone. Anyway, I just got a new sewing machine. I'm going to try to go do some practicing on him. Maybe I'll make some videos of that. We shall see. I have some bags to make. So, till the next one, guys, I will see y'all later. Bye.